What is going on here? What is going on
Listen,
here?
I'll tell you what's going on. We somewhere in New York City.
As always.
You know what I'm saying? As always.
As always.
You know what I mean? That's what we're doing now. We're taking the show on the road.
Listening to Destiny's Child in the background.
Here we are. Some old school Destiny's Children. You know what I'm saying? Like,
was it still with 4 of them, this song? I think that they were cut down to 3 by now.
this was...
You guys would know.
I still believe that this is when there was still 4 of them. I could be wrong, but you know, whatever.
Anyway, welcome to Cats and Flaco.
What's poppin'?
It's about Big Brother Cats.
What's really good?
I'm Flaco. Go.
Well, as always, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know who this handsome young man is by now, then I don't know what to tell you, man.
Can't help you. You're in the wrong place.
You know what I'm saying?
But as always, we're here to do some hip-hop album reviews.
Yes, we are.
And on our plate today, we have Mr. Quincey White and his EP, White Noise. We also have Wale and his latest EP,
What was it? Lunch?
Free Lunch.
Oh, Free Lunch.
Free Lunch. And last but not least, an album. An album and then some. Mr. Lupe Fiasco.
Finally another album.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Lupe.
Mr. Lupe Fiasco.
But we're not going to start with that.
No, we're not.
We're not starting with that.
Drogas wait.
You're going to have to wait.
Drogas wait.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to start with Mr. Quincy White.
Yes.
White Noise.
White Noise.
Do you want to lead the way here, sir?
Why not?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, man. I mean,
all right, Mr. Quincey White, Mr. West Coast, you know, he's based out on the LA, right?
yes. He's from Athens,
Athens,
California, which is a suburban Los Angeles, south side of it.
Right. Yeah, so he, now, the first time I heard of Quincy, I think not a year ago, a couple months back, because I might have been late to the train, but it was on the 7th. And I guess it was Instagram or whatever, you know, hip hop channels I follow, yada yada. So I heard that and I enjoyed it. Like it was popping. So started following him, and he did this 30 for 30 type thing where he was spitting on Instagram 30 days in a row, about a minute, 30 seconds, just whatever.
Right.
And due to the popularity of that is why he then dropped White Noise. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's what, 7 tracks, and I truly enjoyed it. I'm gonna say, and from the Jump Street with King or King, the intro just bumping, and it's what is known, you know, as what we've come to know in this time, this day and age, as West Coast rap. Like, I mean, these boys just bring the beats, they bring the bars. They bring
a little
tempo.
more variety though.
Yeah,
now.
They get it popping, and like I said, like, you know, that the King intro was dope, the Gold was fire. Double Up, I wasn't too crazy about on that, but then the White Noise track is that's definitely my favorite. That's definitely my favorite. The White Noise track, truly appreciate that one the most. Wait a Minute is cool, you know, like, I mean, that ladies track back and forth going with that stuff. Lonely, but you know, another one of my favorites, the last one, Carry On My Name. And I just feel like lyrically, like, the dude, he knows how to put a song together, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, his hooks are always on the money for the most part, except the fellow I was too crazy about. But I feel like it as an EP, I wish that he just gave us like 3 more tracks, and this could have been like a legit album. You know what I'm saying? Like, the quality was definitely there. Like, he ain't holding nothing back. He's putting himself out there, pushing himself. Like I said, I was impressed with the 30 for 30 thing he did on Instagram. That brought me to, you know, to find out about the White Noise joint. Real quick, I guess I'm gonna EP. You know, there weren't too many holes in my opinion, and I'm definitely excited to hear more from him, or at least the features or whatever. Like, yo, he's super braggadocious. He's definitely talented, and he's one of them singing. He can sing too, which is kind of interesting. And I didn't discover that until like this joint really, or realized it, I guess. So I'm gonna give it a solid 3. I truly did enjoy it. and easy listen, but like it was too short for me. Like I did want more. Or at least if you're gonna give me 3 verses or something on these joints, like they were like it just ran right through the EP really quick. That's my only gripe. Okay.
It's Cap's turn now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Quincey White. I had never heard of you until my little bro had said this is one of the albums we should put up for review. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll listen to it. You gave it a 3?
I gave it a 3.
Okay, so we're gonna keep it on the criteria of beats.
Yes, I'm sorry, my bad.
No, beats,
yes.
album structure,
Yep.
Lyrics and lyrical content. I wasn't a fan of the first 3 tracks. Felt like it was still trying to figure the groove of this body of work. I thought Once White Noise, which I think is one of the best songs of the year, in my opinion. I really do. I think it's I think it's a great record. I kind of think like that's where it hit its stride. It hit its stride as a project. Wait a Minute was a good song right after it. Lonely and Carry On My Name. It's really dope. Lonely is a very good song too. Gets a little more into like. Basically what this EP was somebody that he held very important to him. Kind of gave up on their situation. And it's basically, I'm gonna show you what you're missing out on. And dealing with that person trying to climb their way back into their life.
Back in it.
So I think like from tracks 4, from White Noise all the way down to Carry My Name, I think it kind of felt that aspect. When you listen to the interludes, you get a better feel of that. Right. I think the songs King, Gold, and Double Up, I think if you release them as singles by themselves, I think they're very good songs. I just don't think that they kind of fit with what you're doing, you know? And that's part of our criteria here, so you can't like just dismiss that.
Gotcha.
I do think he checks off on his lyrics, his lyrical content, and I did like the production a lot. I think kind of like the Denzel Curry album, I think this is like a good start to like know what we're getting out of him.
Gotcha.
You know, not that there can't be other things that are added on, you know, but I think that this is a
dope introduction.
It's a good introduction. It's a very good listen. 3? Yeah, I think 3. I think a 3 is. No, you know what?
For different reasons.
It's a 3. I wanted to lean to like a 3.5, but I just think I was leaning towards there, but I just didn't think the structure could put me.
I got you with the structure.
Put me there.
But
No.
So White Noise. So wait, 4, 5, 6, 7. You were feeling that much to still push it?
Like a 3.5 because
and you didn't like King. That intro was
No. Not that I didn't like it. I just think that
separate singles.
Like if he released that as a single,
touche. All right.
Like I could see this song like on a soundtrack or something. You know what I mean? Like
I got you.
This is like a song that gets you going. You know, like I could see this on like a workout playlist. Like it gets you going. Like it really does. I do think though too with as far as his lyrics and his lyrical content, I think he can give me more.
Yeah.
You know, I do because I see the potential in him. I think he could be a big thing. So that's why I was leaning towards a 3.5, but so you know what? I think it's a 3. 3's not bad.
Nope.
3 is very good actually. Shout out to Mr. Quincey White, White Noise.
White Noise, baby.
Shout out to the West Coast because you guys are still. Y'all are showing improving, man. Like, no, don't be doing that. We don't know what to do. That's not no gang signs. That's just, like 3. You know,
3. 1, 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this I think it's a Caps and Flaco approved listen. Make sure you go support that man.
Oh yeah.
If he's on tour, he's in your town, go check him out. Cause that's the other thing too. I think I would love to see this guy perform live. I would pay a ticket. You know what I mean? Like I would do that. I would definitely go check him out. And I think you guys should. White Noise, very solid project, man. Shout out to you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Next
up
is Mr. Wale.
Wale Falorin.
Wale Falorin.
DC native, the DMV. His latest project, Free Lunch, baby. Another EP.
But was the lunch really free?
Well, you always say.
I do have to pay title.
But you say
no.
mixtapes.
No. But listen. But I didn't get it for free. I have a title membership.
That is true.
So
I wonder, was it on? You know how we would know if it's definitely free? If that whole thing was on YouTube to listen
I didn't even fucking
we didn't
check
check
it.
it. We didn't check it.
You know, but yeah, Wale, you've been away for a while. You were on that Winter Dreams joint with Cole after he dropped that False Prophets. And I think that's kind of like lit a little fire in Mr. Wale. You know what I mean? I think he's back on his pen a little bit. And not so much on the complaining aspect. He's just on the making music. I'm gonna go right in.
Get it.
My Boy, awesome collaboration with J. Cole. I think the two of them have a very good chemistry with each other. I would like to see them maybe do an EP together.
That would be dope.
They'd be really dope.
That sparring on that.
Yeah, I think it's very good. I mean, it was so good that you didn't put it on the spoon. You didn't put his verse on the spoon fed, but whatever. Not throwing shots. I'm just saying. That Right Here joint with Eric Bellinger. I don't know who Eric Bellinger is, but the boy can sing. I thought it was very good. I thought it was a very good feature. Dummies is a very good song. Ungrateful and Thankful. These are tough songs. Like they're tough songs. 3 days, 3 hours. These are good songs. They don't fit like a body of work to me though. They don't. It's like reminiscences of Lemonade.
Gotcha.
Reminiscences of the Carter album. Right? It's not
Hits that you're plugging in.
it's hits you're plugging in. Which again, you know, sometimes I think the reason why we're getting a lot of these EPs is because a lot of people are finishing their contracts up, or they just have all this material that they've been working on and they haven't had like, you know, an outlet to put it out. So I think they're just putting it out in this manner. But the songs are good. The lyrics and his content are dope. The beats were dope. I think the track selection was great. His album, the structure is basura. It's just not there. But his lyrics, his content, and the beats is checking off for me. I'm giving this a 3.5. Because I can't really give these EPs like, I can't give them like a 4. I mean, it's got to be very rare.
Gotcha.
I mean, to my opinion, it's not the level of the Locksmith EP or the Black Thought EP or the Pusha T EP. Yeah, I said it. It's not an album. It's an EP. All right?
EP 18?
Yeah, I'm not putting it up there with those particular things, but I think this is, again, a good, smooth listen. I'm glad Wale's back out here putting material out. Hopefully, this is the beginning of him putting out another body of work this year.
That's what I believe.
Because, you know, listen, he's one of the best spitters out there, and I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves because a lot of other things outside of music that kind of turn people off. They turn people off about him and don't want to listen to him. But you're not gonna get that from me because I'm a fan of Wale. I think he's one of the best talented guys out there. So that's my opinion. Yo, and do that fucking project with Odyssey already, man. That dude been calling you. That get with that fucking. How amazing would that be, man? That's just my opinion, though.
But
what do I know? I'm an old head. What do I know?
At least for me, Wale, welcome back, my brother. The Shine joint. I will admit to all Wale fans, I did not get a chance to really sink in on that. So this is like a reintroduction for me to Wale in the past 2 years or so.
Right.
Outside of features. And yo, that intro Dummies. Once again, I'm big on the initial. Like,
yeah,
I'm big
absolutely.
On the wake up. Like, okay, all right, you have my ear. Well, I got you.
Yeah.
Ungrateful and Thankful. Like that hook is so catchy. Like I truly enjoyed it. One thing I will say with that track though, as far as the beat selection, I think he got drowned out in it. Where I wasn't able to really catch the verses as smoothly as I did in Dummies and the other tracks.
Right.
For something about it, but the hook was mad. I'm ungrateful and thankful. Like that shit, like it's in your head heavy. So
catchy, very catchy.
The dude knows how to, like you know how to make music. Like that's never been your issue. Just all the other Twitter drama and all that other shit you go through.
It don't turn me off. Like I listen to people for the music. That's just me.
3 days, 3 hours. Wale, the ladies love Wale. And that's been your bread and butter for a hot minute now. You always going fucking
Don't stop doing that.
Yeah,
don't stop doing
he knows what the deal is. And now that was another tough track. And obviously my boy, that sparring you and Cole did, man, phenomenal. And it, like, just the hype on that. I just don't understand how that's not on the radio yet. Maybe it is down in DC, but NYC, Hot 97, 105, y'all really gotta get it together because that needs to be non-stop played. Like, it's just so dope. And and then the right here, fire ass track. Like, once again, on a totem pole, and at the very top is Black Thought and Night Wonder. To compare this to that shit was, I mean, I hate to do it, but like, I just gotta be honest with myself, like, where that is like the holy grail for me as far as these EPs go. But I kind of like Quincey White more. So I'm giving this, I enjoyed it, but I gave Quincey a 3. I'm gonna give 2.5, man. Like, and I know it's rough to give it, like, 'cause the thing like 2.5 is bad, but it just was, it came and went, and I just found myself really going back to like Dummies and of course My Boy. Like, those were the ones that were hitting. The 3 days, 3 hours, like, I get, like, that ain't for me. The same thing where you had the argument about the Nicki, about Nicki, like, the ladies, I know the ladies gonna love it, and it makes sense because I'm hearing what you're saying and how you serenade, and I'm like, it makes sense, but that didn't move me. And like Pat said, it's just like plug and play with this, with the EP tracks. Like, there's no fluidity in the album, in the structure of it.
Right.
So yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm not too sure I'm gonna pick it back up again outside of My Boy. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5. But and I think there was another issue with the sounds for his voice and the hook for the right here. I believe, I can't remember. I need to hear it again. But I know, and I'm grateful and thankful, like, where we were kind of getting drowned out. So it is what it is, man. But I did enjoy it. Definitely 2 out of the 5 tracks, but it was too short, and I don't know how the shelf life on this. But I'm glad to see you back in there, and definitely you could see that with My Boy. And you need to push yourself and bring that motivation, getting with dudes like Cole that really gets you going, like, gets the juices going, because you're up there lyrically, like, real talk.
Oh, absolutely, no question about it.
But real talk, had Wale not dropped simultaneously with Quincey, and then I had to share that time, I'm gonna be honest with myself, and what did I prefer?
No, I haven't listened. I don't.
And if I'm gonna give, like, I really didn't feel like I can give Quincey past a 3, but then I didn't like.
I get it. Hey, listen.
More than I did.
I get it.
Quincy. So
see, I tend to try to not do that. I try to make a concerted effort to just listen to them, give them the same amount of time, take my notes on it,
right? And
and then just try to give my, because it's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. It's very difficult because the way music is coming out, at the rate it's coming, I can see how people get caught up with that. But I think the way we were geared listening to music has helped me a lot in that regard. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's difficult for some, because like I said, the wave has been a lot. So you know what I'm saying? So now, oh, it's been awesome. I love it.
Now an album. It's like multiple albums in one, actually. Mr. Lupe Fiasco out of Chi-Town. Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Lupe.
Drogas Wave.
An official, legit gatekeeper of this shit.
Yeah, man.
This part of the culture we love in hip hop, which is the music.
24 bangers. Few interludes, but 24 joints. Yo.
Large sample size.
Large sample size.
I'm gonna let you start, little bro, because I see you're ready.
I literally had like Wikipedia fucking like freaking lyrics on hand as I'm listening because
disclaimer before you go in. This is an album that we felt is not a reactionary feedback.
Yep.
Lupe is not that type of artist at all. We're not gonna waste our time doing that. And we're not gonna not give him that respect and that type of justice. It's not gonna do justice with the review doing that.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's a little late. So we apologize, but keep in mind there's gonna be certain projects that we do listen to that we're not gonna be jumping right on the gun.
Now, we had to soak this in.
That's the disclaimer. But go ahead, sir.
Yep. Okay. So you had Drogas Light that came in February 2017.
Yes.
Okay? About a year and a half ago. And I personally, as a huge Lupe fan from Jump Street, was so disappointed in that. But I felt like he was trolling the mumble rap culture and wave within those 14 tracks, the first 7. Then the last 7 went back to the Lupe that I know and love. But it was just sonically, like, I couldn't fucking listen to that album anymore other than the last 7. It was like, what is he doing? But I get the mocking of the industry and just flexing like you can do it better than they can, but somehow, some way, well, a year later, Cole actually did that on KOD, and Matt, like, I think it was executed better, the way Cole did than the way Lupe did, you know? So now, you fast forward to Dragos Wave, and I'm seeing that fucking Dragos again. I got nervous, like, what the?
I mean, Creed 2 is coming out too.
Yeah.
Just saying, it has nothing to do with this album, but go ahead.
But then, I looked at the playlist and saw 24 tracks, and I said, you know what? It's Lupe, man. And fuck, like, whatever happened with that, I didn't really, like, do any research and just listen. I was like, no, I don't know what's going on here. Kind of like a filler, because Tetsuo and Youth, the album that came before that, was a fucking, like, just epic, and just, I love everything about Tetsuo and Youth that dropped before Dragos Light. So to, you know, in between those two, I was just, like, lost within Light. Now Wave comes like, no, all right, my boy's gonna bounce back. First track, In the Event of a Typhoon, which was kind of like a poetry, or like just kind of just reading off about slaves on the ship. You know, okay, all right. It's an introduction, no problem. Story being told. Then boom, Dragos in Spanish. So I'm just like, what's on the fuck out? Patricia! Go translate this shit for me. Hey,
his wife is Dominican.
Like, what the you know, so I'm just like, oh my god, this motherfucker's gonna do this to me again. I was like, what is going on here? Like, no, Lupe, like, is my point a sunken place? Like, what the fuck? So I was like, no. I was like, nah, alright, no. And then Manila hits, right? Boom. And now, as you're listening, it's like, yo, what the, okay, something's cooking here. I might be a little lost a little bit, but something's cooking here. You go research what vanilla is, and come to find out that it was like pieces of copper and brass and such that they exchanged for slaves in Africa, which is the album cover is actually a piece of that, is a drawing of it. And he's like breaking down slave transfer and also like making it relevant into current times with like, yo, just how we go about just like glamorizing all the fucking materialistic bullshit in our day. Hence, you know, new slaves. But anyway, my fucking, all right. Once I took a moment, mind blown, I said, oh shit, let me fucking buckle my seatbelt because it's showtime. Then you go into Gold versus the right thing to do. Dude, like, once again, like, just breaking down even further, like, just trafficking. But then even in this story here, it's like, yo, like, what now? Like, the slaves jumping out of the ships and sinking slave ships. Yo, which he breaks down in Wave Files, right? Because slave ships was like an interlude, like this beautiful, like, symphony playing. All right, I'm geeking out hard right now. I'm geeking out hard. I'm sorry, but like, yo, the Wave Files, he literally starts ringing off all like these slave ship names, and I was so lost initially. Had to look that shit up. Not even
just that, like where they were landing
and where from Liverpool to right. Like, I was almost to tears. And I know it sounds crazy because, I mean, this is my ancestors you're talking about, but it was like almost in a relation to me of like when they do the 9/11 name. when you think about all the ancestors and how many lives were lost, not that they even make it to be slaves and die here on this soil, but yo, just how many actually drowned and killed themselves, or you know, just a la Killmonger.
They had the Killmonger mentality.
Exactly, like fuck this, I ain't gonna be no slave, I'm dying. And even wild ass tracks like track 7 Down, where literally like how we're down, like we from the barrio, like yo, in projects, in the hood, like down, but he associated himself with those fictional slaves that jumped off the ships and now living in the seas and just killing, like, you know, bringing down other slave ships and freeing. But those slaves are now one with the sea life. So it was almost like a
reincarnated energy.
Right? But also too, like almost on a Disney level. Like if Little Mermaid was reimagined, like more on an urban tip, where you're down with the sharks and I know it's kind of like corny, but at the same time, like, these are bottom feeders, as we are bottom feeders in America. You know what I'm saying? And like, it was so ill the way, like, how he's so, his mind, like, I don't know, bro. Like, this dude is like fucking special, man. And like, I'm just like getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And then the Haile Selassie, I don't know. Within that in itself, like Haile Selassie, like, you know, a prayer in itself, like the saying or whatever. But those first 8 tracks together, like, told this fucking ill ass story of this fictional story, albeit, you know what I mean? Like, but like, it just like gave me life and gave me energy and made me proud to be a black man in America, knowing what my lineage is, knowing what my history is, and knowing that my fucking tribe lost and was sold off, you know? And I just never, no one has ever done anything like this and put that in a perspective in such a way. And I just love that. Then you go into, then it like takes a turn, it spins into Alan Forever. Once again, had to look that up. And that's Alan Kurdi, who was a Turkish immigrant that tried to flee to Greece, 3-year-old boy that drowned with his family. And he reimagined that kid as if he lived and became an Olympic swimmer, exactly. Yeah. And I'm coming to tears because it's just so wild. I mean, I have a 3-year-old son, I have a 6-year-old daughter, so seeing the images again and just remembering that, but like, he just made such a beautiful story in that, in Alan Forever. Like, yo, I think I could go on and on with this. I'm just gonna, then you have the Jolene Forever. That's a beautiful baby girl that in a shooting in Chicago, 3-year-old, no, baby, like months old, I believe, who got shot and killed, like, you know, just being an innocent bystander in the hood. And he reimagined her growing up to be a successful doctor that came back and like resuscitated herself essentially. Like, yo, storytelling at its fucking finest and just taking these miserable moments and fucking
giving it life.
And giving it life. Like, one last, okay, all right, the track Cripple, because bro, I can go on and on about this fucking album, bro. I'm telling you right now. Cripple, okay, Cripple, I didn't understand what the fucking hook was. I thought it was so dope. Community resistance in progress, people loving, explain. When you take those words together, it spells cripple. And essentially, if you listen to the track, you're Puerto Rican, I'm Trinidadian.
Right.
You'll have a white man, you'll have a black female. Brown eyes, blue eyes, male, female. One thing we all have in common is this one earth. And we're all fucking human beings. You know, Bloods and Crips, motherfucker, we're broke in the same hood.
Absolutely.
The divide that we have, it's crippling. And we need to figure this shit all the way the fuck out. I don't know. I don't even know if it's gonna happen in my time. I hope in my children's time. But yo, Lupe V, I love you to death. Nas, King Nas, the tribute to fucking Nas, where he's like spits his cadence on that to his nephew. Then he did another one with fucking Mos Def. I'm taking too much time. Yo, Five, I love this. This was a fucking masterpiece. I can't get enough of it. I continue to listen, track after track. I'm just rambling. I don't know, bro. I just use everything. Lupe Fiasco, bro. I thank you. You are such an inspiration for a motherfucking nerd-ass Negro like myself that grew up in the fucking hood and had, like, what is what? You know what I'm saying? Because you either ball or you slang, you know what I'm saying? And I ball, but fucking I didn't make it. You know what I mean? But bro, I love you to death, bro. I thank you so much for your contribution in hip-hop. And this shit was just a fucking masterpiece of mine right here.
Okay, so my little bro took almost every point.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bro, this is why I told you when you were like, no, we gotta do it. But
I ain't complaining.
We gotta soak it up.
I'm not getting the Kleenex box like some people did when I, quote unquote, bogarted the J-Rock shit. But whatever.
He gave it to me first.
Whatever, right. But here's the thing. I'm gonna tie this in very, very, very quickly. This is the reason why this is not a reactionary review. Because if you had this idea of what the slave trade was, this is a reality check. From top to bottom. I personally was not cool with the Drogas song. You know, there was a couple of things like the slave ships interlude. I wasn't sonically, cause I was like you. I'm like yo. We on the other Drogas thing. But like I mentioned to you in a previous review with ASAP, I think that sometimes you have to fall on your face trying to catch a sound to then work the kinks out and move forward with it, which I think personally he hit a home run with. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yes,
I really did. But this is why it's important to me that people listen to albums like albums, because yeah, the Drogas track is standing on its own. It's not a, but when you listen to it with this body of work, you have to understand something too, that Puerto Ricans were slaves too.
Yep.
Dominicans were slaves too. Indians from Central America, from South America, they were fucking slaves too. And they are part of that history, which is why it baffles me that people of color do not band with each other and continue to fucking eat away at each other. But without getting into any of that, I really thought from the track Stronger all the way down, as far as like song for song, is when the album really sonically hit its stride. I think he did that purposely because the Allen Forever, I think like that kind of tied in the first part of the storytelling, which is basically him painting a picture of what it was like to be traded for goods, put in ships when you didn't want to be. And you know, your fate is, we all know what your fate is now, right? And I think he kind of did that. I think he kind of sacrificed the first half of his album to do that, and I commend him for that. Again, sonically, from that track Stronger, down. I mean, the features were great. Yep. This girl, Crystal Torres, Nikki Jean.
And Nikki Jean, who's on a bunch of shit, but yo, every song sounded different. Her same voice, but yo, it was like, it wasn't the same shit, which was so impressive in itself.
You know what I mean? The Damian Marley feature. Oh, yes. I mean, like these are, I'm giving it a 4 or 5. It, only because sonically, listening to it as an album, I think the interludes, like you have to be an album listener to like get it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and Lupe, like I said, is one of the best storytelling dudes that is out there, bro.
If not the after this thing.
You know what I mean? Like, if anybody ever fucking thought his pen was suffering, man, and this was the other thing too, like, this is not for everybody. Unfortunately, it's not, because this is heavy material, bro. This is stuff that I'm geared to listen to. You know what I mean? Like I'm geared to this.
I see what you're saying.
You know, if we could, it's closer to a 5, but I'm giving it a 4 or 5 because that's like the way we do it.
Right.
it's incredible, bro. Like, shout out to Lupe, man. Like, I listen to his interviews. Then I listen to his projects, and a lot of times, like, what he's talking about, it doesn't really, like I thought his last great album was Lasers, personally. His last like great album, not like flashes of greatness.
Right.
I thought like this is like, you know what? I'm changing it. I'm giving this a 5, man. I have to.
Dude, it's special.
Because I think like you listening to his first album to now, it's like the maturation of him. It's yeah, it's a 5, bro. This is not a one-time listen for me.
You have to soak it in and then do it again. And then do it again.
I mean
ask questions, go and look it up, because you have to. It's he is the rewind factor.
Listen, I wish that more artists were more well-rounded. I wish more artists touched on these things. I wish more artists that get to a spot at the table go and reflect and do things like this. And nobody, listen, Lupe, I'll give you mad props. Nobody got the balls to do shit like this. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
Nobody had the balls like NWA to do what they did. Nobody had the balls like KRS-One to do what they did. Nobody had the balls like a Tupac Shakur. Like, you guys get to your spot and you say, fuck that.
It's true.
This is the body of work I'm gonna give you because this is what's affecting us. And it's crazy how, like, the way you tied things into how things were to how we still stuck in the same shit.
Yep.
Like, that was just a... Listen, there's a lot of broad stroke people. This is not a broad stroke. Listen, he's not a broad stroke artist. This dude is phenomenal, bro. That's it. That's all I can tell you.
You'll walk away being a few fucking levels smarter listening to this. I'm telling you, like your IQ will like enhance just listening to this guy. I'm serious.
Unreal. Listen,
I'm serious.
Do yourself a favor. Sit down. Put the headphones on. You gotta cook for a big party of people. Put the headphones in. You gotta clean your fucking house. Put the headphones in. You gotta do a big compra. Put the headphones in. You wanna run. You gotta do your running, your routine. Put the fucking headphones in and just soak up that information, man. It's something that's missing, and we need to get back to that, bro. Like, thank you, Lupe. I fucking
love you for this.
Thank you. That's all I can say. I appreciate you,
love
man.
You for this.
To say your Caps and Flaco approved, you was approved before this album was even out here.
Seriously.
But this is what an album, the way it's structured, should be looked at. This should be a blueprint for a lot of these young guys that are putting albums together. I can't say no more because we're running out of time. I could go on for hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go on for hours, but I'm not gonna. So, with that being said, the reminisce aspect, I have to give a special shout out to one of my favorite MCs from Brooklyn. BK Grown, member of DITC, Digging in the Crates. My man, OC.
Okay.
And the album I particularly want to touch on is the album Jewels. Not in the same form as this last album we listened to,
right,
but it was one of the best storytelling albums. It had features with Big L, rest in peace, Big L. Dangerous was the big single that was on there. But it really did get into what makes you the artist you are. I felt that album did that for OC. It had songs like The Crow. It had It's My World, which is another great song. Like, it kind of like, he's always been that type of insightful guy. But it's one of those gems that's not gonna get the credit because of all the overload of albums that came out in '97. And I feel like Lupe's album it's rivaling the Royces and it's up there, right, as far as album of the year. But is it gonna get the notoriety? It should. The time will tell.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the way people are geared, and people are geared to listen to things, it's not the same way that guys used to be geared to things. Which is something I hope with this channel, you know, we give a different insight to younger kids.
Yep.
You know, when they're listening to music, you know, like really enjoy the body of work and hold people accountable for what they say and what they put out there. That's just my biggest thing, and I think that's why we did this channel.
Yeah.
You know, so Jewels, OC, shout out.
Bless, baby.
One of the founders of DITC was also on the Crooklyn Dodgers remix on the Clockers album with J. Rue, with Chubb Rock. Like, he's been on so many legendary songs. He's been on some legendary features. And you know, sometimes he doesn't get the credit that he is deserved. And on this channel, that's not gonna go down. So, yes, y'all got streaming outlets. Make sure you stream that album, Jewels. Check my man out.
Now, that's for the spoon fade and the Sazikas.
The Spoonies and the Seeks, bro. And what do you have for us today, Mr. Flock?
I got for you guys off of the Dreamville, once again, the Dreamville team. Earth Gang and Iron Ray. Stuck. Now, hold on now. And, oh, and if somebody could confirm this to me, they sampled off of The Love Below with that. So if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, oh, I could be wrong. Check the Instagram. That's what Flaco like that.
But not really.
The misunderstandings, marrying, miscommunication. Today at 3, don't lose your invitations. They say it's the place you ought to be filled with the who's you, who's me, and who's.
They're gonna flag us and mute like a whole minute of the damn
Yes, they are.
episode.
This concludes.
This is gonna be a lengthy episode because it has to be, because you got to hear everything we had to say about Lupe and that Drogas. Shout out to Wale.
Yes.
Shout out to Quincey White, and
Yes.
wish you all the best in your future career.
Thank you for your contribution, man.
Huge shout
For
out
real.
to OC and the Jewels album. We all got to check it out. My ass had to check it out. I was like 17 at the time. I think I might have missed that, so I'm definitely gonna go do my homework. with that
Absolutely.
one,
There you go. That's why we here. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, this shit is just too much fun. Shout out to Bar None, real talk. I mean, none.
I mean, wherever we are. You know what I'm saying? It's not that somewhere. It's not gonna be worth it now. But still, just put it in anyway. Don't worry about it.
Somewhere. But yo,
Somewhere.
so the next episode.
So the next episode.
Should we give a preview on what the hell it's gonna be? Because I mean,
Listen, shout out to Out of Zion.
oh yes, and
Make sure you check out www.oozion.com. It is a very close to heart thing for me. My young cousin Zion, who loved music, had a cancerous brain tumor and passed away at the age of 4. Battled it for a year. So this is a performing arts program for kids with special needs and who are going through really bad illnesses such as cerebral palsy, cancer, and that type of stuff. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you check out the homie, Miss Ashley Nunez, and her clothing line,
yeah,
Visionary Orenda. Make sure you check that out on Instagram. I believe her website will be up soon. But check her out on IG. Go fucking buy a hat, buy a shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Villainous New York too.
Villainous New York.
Little brother, Spielberg P. This is his people.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool as fuck. Villainous
Absolutely.
New York, they dope. They got some fly shit. Check them out. Instagram.
She is a native New Yorker from Washington Heights. Make sure you go out there, buy a hat, buy a shirt, buy a sweater. If she buys socks, if she makes socks, buy socks.
Seriously.
Get a headband. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Sucker Free Podcast, SUCKA Podcast, Mimi.
Absolutely.
What up, girl? Just George. What up?
What up?
Michelle?
K6 fam.
Somebody.
You know what I mean? And
Somebody.
then that's how we're gonna do this.
Herb's
I
gonna
played
win
for I played for Ray.
Herb's gonna win it. I love
Happy
y'all.
birthday. We lost Ray a year ago,
That's right.
and this is dedicated to him. Ray, thank you for being the person that guided me and gave me the courage to go out there and be myself and lead and surround myself with good people. I wouldn't be here without you. And that's all I have to say, Ray. Thank you. If you guys don't know who Ray Pagan was, he was a big part of me. So go to IPlayForRay.com, get you a shirt, get you a Booty Spanker shirt. It's a good cause. All the proceeds go to events that are going to be held in his name. Make sure you go do that. And make sure you like, share, subscribe.
And also, Stop making stupid people famous.
You already know. My bro. Peace.